Welcome to Know Your Mobile. I'm Basil. This is a Sony Xperia Z. This is a Sony Xperia S, and we're here to compare the two devices for you. The Xperia Z isn't the direct successor to the Xperia S, but it's one many of you will be upgrading from the S2. The Xperia Z packs a 5-inch display in contrast to the 4.3-inch display on the Xperia S. It also has a quad-core Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 processor clocked at 1.5 GHz. That's in contrast to the 1.5 GHz dual-core Sony processor in the Sony Xperia S. You've also got this glass back and front. It's something called dragon tail glass, which is scratch resistant. The Xperia S, however, is markedly more plasticky in the hand. It does feel rich thanks to its striking edges and corners. However, it's really not quite up there with the Xperia Z. The Xperia Z is the first device from Sony to come out of the Sony Japanese design labs and not the Sony Ericsson design labs, so it really does show. This looks almost like a Bravia TV. Other key elements that are different include the displays. The 5-inch display on the Sony Xperia Z is stunning. The Xperia S's 720p display is pin sharp, don't get us wrong, but colours aren't quite as saturated. Everything doesn't look as natural. It just isn't as good a performer as the Xperia Z. The Xperia Z also has Sony's mobile Bravia Engine 2 and something called optic contrast technology, so it produces deeper, darker blacks as well as much punchier colours. In terms of the user interface, Sony have also tweaked a couple of things. If we pinch both of the screens, for example, we have a widget overview on the Sony Xperia S. This is very memory intensive and it's not quite as informative as we'd like it to be. You also can't remove and add home screens. In contrast, the option to remove and add home screens is available in Sony's new UI. The themes are also a lot more immersive. They extend, for example, right through to the lock screen. So if we change out a theme, we can see locking the phone will produce this image which just really nice, reinforces the overall message of the theme rather than excessively overdoes this spiral effect. Other elements that are really different include the cameras. The 13 megapixel camera on the Sony Xperia Z is complemented by a beautiful interface. It also packs a new Exmor RS sensor, which is in contrast to the 12 megapixel camera on the Xperia S. The Xperia S does pack a physical camera button, however the user interface of the Xperia Z really compensates for this omission. The reason being it's very easy to change mode, and there are a range of picture effects as well that you can apply. There's also a burst mode of 10 frames per second, which is hugely impressive. Moving over to video, and you can see that we'll change from front-facing camera, sorry about that face, right through to rear-facing camera. You can see HDR mode in video. If we switch it off, for example, we can see the difference that makes quite clearly to this white shadowy table. It really does up that tonal variation. Finally, in terms of the key specs, 2 GB of internal RAM and 16 GB of internal memory on the Sony Xperia Z. You've also, as we said, got that 1.5 GHz quad-core processor, which is Qualcomm Snapdragon S4. The Sony Xperia S packs don't even think it's 1 GB of RAM, think it may be. Yes, it is. And it also packs a 32 GB of internal memory, but no micro SD expandability, unfortunately. So that's been a quick comparison between the Sony Xperia S and the Sony Xperia Z. The Xperia S was great for its day, however, finally it has a worthy successor in the Sony Xperia Z. Truly a beautiful phone with great design and weatherproofing as well, not to mention a striking camera UI. Thanks for watching Know Your Mobile. If you've got any questions, please fire them in the comments section below, and if you'd like to subscribe to this channel, do it.